Okay, guys. So this is the last set of notes. You'll have an assignment on Monday, and then we'll do review Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we'll look at taking a test on Thursday. So complex numbers, we know based on what we've learned so far that I squared is equal to -1. Since this is true, anytime we are raising I to an exponent, you want to try to pull out all the I squareds. Okay, you want to see how many of them are there. And then if you have any I's left over, they're going to stay just as an I. Okay, and you'd only have one I left over. We have talked briefly about this and how to do this. So let's go ahead and look at it again. So I want to write this, okay, as I squared to some exponent here, okay? The easiest way to do that is to divide this by 2, all right? So then the number I would put in here would be 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. Our exponent rules tell us that anything raised to the, when you raise a power to a power, that it is going to equal, you multiply the exponents, and that is what gives us this exponent here. So I squared, you multiply the exponents, you get I to the 4th. Okay? Now, from here, we know that I squared is equal to -1. And we still have this square. Now, -1 squared then is going to be +1. So I to the 4th is 1. Okay? So we look at this one again. Now, in this case, you have an odd number. So the first thing I want to do is I want to write this with an even power. So I'm going to say I to the 34th times I. Okay? Now, I have this I left over because this is I to the 34th and I to the 1st. Multiplying bases, you add the exponents. 34 plus 1 is 35. Okay? So now, 34, we're going to write as I squared. Now how I find this is I take 34, I divide by 2, which is going to be 17. Okay? So this is I squared to the 17th power times I. Alright? So that means this is going to be -1 to the 17th power times I. Alright? Easy way to remember, -1 raised to an even exponent is 1. -1 raised to an odd exponent is -1. So that's -1 times I, which then gives you -I. Okay? So I to the 31st, I to the 35th is just going to be I. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. Okay? So when we start this problem, again, I to the 22nd. This is even, so it's divisible by 2. So I'm going to write I squared. Now I got to figure out what I'm raising that to. So I take 22, I divide by 2, which is 11. This goes here. Okay? Again, we're going to now substitute I squared is -1 to the 11th power. -1 raised to an odd exponent is going to be -1. And there's your answer. Okay? Simplifying I raised to an exponent is not that difficult. It's actually fairly simple. So make sure you get some good steps written down for this, though, because when you start doing worksheets on this on Monday, I don't want you to come to me and ask how to do it. Okay? Example number 4. Now we're going to look at graphing. And graphing is actually really simple. You're asked to graph 2 minus I. 2 is your x value. I is your y value. So I'm going to graph whatever this coefficient for I is, that's the y. So I'm going to go over 2, and I'm going to go down 1, which is going to be right here. Okay? And this would be 2 minus I. Alright? We get to the next one. 3. This is my x value. This is my y value. So I'm going to go positive 3 on the x, down 4 on the y. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put my point. This is the point, 3 minus 4i. Okay? Again, make sure you guys get your steps, and make sure you get any questions you have for me written down, and I will ask about them on Monday when you come into class first thing. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.